Hello, people of YouTube. This is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. So we are at gearsnews.com today for accessories for guitarists, 5 perfect stocking fillers, Christmas ideas for guitarists, young and old. Some of these I agree with, some of them not so much. If you're a beginner, then yes. If you're like brand new to guitar, don't really have anything, then yes, these will work for all of you. However, if you've been playing guitar for a couple of years, a couple of these things you probably already have and may or may not need. So I added a couple of my own to the list as well. For pictures, I am just using Amazon. You can go to Amazon to buy any of these things. You can go to your local music store, which I highly recommend. Shop local, small business. If you have any music stores around you, you can do that. There's other websites besides Amazon. You can always, of course, buy used, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, things along those lines to save a little bit of money if you want to. So, those are just options. Those are just options. So these are going to be all things that are relatively inexpensive, under $100, we're going to say. So nothing is going to be over $100. Most of the stuff is going to be significantly cheaper than $100. And I think I forgot to actually add one to my list, so I can always do that near the end if needed. So these accessories for guitarists will make your Christmas shopping easier. Know a guitarist in your life, and they'll probably appreciate some of these. Key information about guitar accessories. Guitar accessories are items that are very important to a guitarist. However, they don't have to be used all of the time. Not necessarily true. I would say if you're a guitarist and you play with a pick or strings, you are using both of those things all of the time. Something that can enhance the playing experience and even something that makes your life easier. Accessories for guitars can be relatively inexpensive and still be a vital part of a guitarist setup. So best accessories for guitarists. So you got tuners, you got capos, we have lemon oil, we have pedals, and we have stands. So starting off with tuners, this is one of those kind of yes and no things. Most guitarists already have some sort of clip-on tuner. So if you're brand new, you can try to find a slightly more expensive tuner or a tuning pedal, or if you want to go the more expensive route, there's a thing called a strobe tuner, which is really good for setting up a guitar, intonation, working on guitars, things along those lines. That may be what you want to do. So obviously a tuner is a given. Our first look at accessories for guitarists would be the most vital elements is a tuner. Yep, you need a tuner. They break all the time. It doesn't hurt to have one or two. But if the person already has one or two, they may not need another one, and they'll probably give you a thank you, but there won't be any heart in that. Next up is capos. So let's go with two. I'm going to just show you tuners. So snark tuner, everybody has a snark tuner that I know, or some sort of clip-on tuner, but then you can get into the more expensive range, like your Boss tuner. And as I said, you can start getting into even more expensive stuff with like a strobe tuner. You got a Peterson clip-on one there. This one looks like it tunes it too, so huge variety, huge price range point. The next one on the list, what are we talking about here, are capos. One of these is capos. That's a guitar stand. Here's a capo. I'm not even really going to read what the article says. So capos are also one of those things that the majority of guitarists, if they've been playing for a couple of years, they probably already have one. However, there is a wide variety of price ranges and types. So get them a different type. It doesn't have to be a super expensive one. Maybe they have one that looks like this Kaiser one over here that's $24. Maybe they want something a little different. Get them the clamping Diodario one or something. So different price range. You can get one that looks like an alligator. These, they all essentially do the same thing. They clamp the strings. Some are better than others. Yes, you have one that looks like a shark for $10. You don't need to really spend a crap ton of money on these, in my opinion, being that they all essentially do the same thing. Now, another thing that is also a hit or miss is guitar stands. So if they already have, maybe they only own 1 or 2 guitars, they're not a Neanderthal like I am, and have like 12, they already probably have a stand or two lying around. But if you're like me, wall hangers are really good. if they got the room for them, something like this, where this is $34 and you get 5 guitars on there, that is a really good option too. Just something where they don't have cases and things all over the place all the time. There's even guitar stands that allow you to put a case on the stand as well, which is really cool. You got this little thingy over here, this Biconi guitar stand. Looks like you can get a couple guitars on there, an amp on there, and you can, put maybe a record player or something on there too. So that is an option. There's all different types of guitar stands and wall hangers that whoever you get them for will be very happy. This $200 one, you don't need to spend that kind of money. The only thing you may want to look for is if it's nitrocellulose safe. So typically higher end guitars have what is called a nitrocellulose finish, and the finish is very susceptible to foam padding and certain things that can melt the finish and deform it over time. So you may want to just confirm that whatever stand you're buying is nitrocellulose safe, assuming that you know that that is the type of guitar your loved one or person you're gifting it to has. Now getting on to things more so that every guitarist needs. Lemon oil, really good. Nothing wrong with lemon oil. Hydrate your fretboard, something that is relatively inexpensive, and every guitarist should be using it at some point in time, if not using it for hydrating your fretboard at the very least, using it to clean the fretboard. And there is so many different types of fretboard conditioner out there as well. I've been using the same bottle of Old English lemon oil. It's not as lemon scented. They call it lemon oil. There's no actual lemon in it. Make sure it's not real lemon oil. That can get confusing, but most of these things that say lemon oil on them are not. If you go to a brand like Diodario or Ernie Ball, Music Nomad, these are all companies that everything they make is specific for guitars, so you don't have to worry about it hurting their guitars whatsoever. So another thing they have on here, we did tuners, we did capos, we did lemon oil, we did stands. We did not do pedals. So the majority of guitarists love guitar pedals, and there are so many pedals out there. There are, Boss is a big brand, Electro-Harmonix, TC Electronics, I'm just trying to, Crybaby, Dunlop, just to name a few brands that are reputable brands with stuff that are decent. More, I believe, is halfway decent as well. But, there's like random Behringer pedals. You got random Amazon Basic pedals, a Donner Guitar Effects pedal. The price range on these things is like $20 to like several $1,000s and everywhere in between. So literally just type in guitar pedal. You can go to a website, sort it by price. Let's just go here. Let's say I want to be in like the $20-ish range. Let that load up. And look, here's a bunch of guitar pedals that are $20, and they're just fun little things to plug in and use. They might not use these all the time, but 9 out of 10, you're probably going to end up getting them something that they don't have, and maybe you can sneak into their room or just ask them what they already have so you don't get them the same thing. That is an option. Now, something that is also not on that list, but is on my list for the cheaper things, is nothing beats a good quality guitar strap. Whether it's extra padded for an extra heavy guitar. I personally don't usually use these cheaper nylon ones. They are very durable and they last a very long time. I think I only have one guitar that currently has one of those on it. I think it's my bass. I'm looking at it right now. Not that you can see it, but I have a couple of Levies. Very good brand. Little bit on the expensive side, but not crazy. Typically, they're wider, they're more comfortable. They are very annoying to adjust. That is the one thing I can say. It's kind of, you adjust it once and never touch it again. Where this style, you can adjust it very, very easily. So, if you're sharing an instrument with somebody, you may not want this particular style of strap because it can cause some issues. But wide variety of straps, wide variety of different finishes and patterns and everything else. And you need a decent guitar strap, especially if you're standing up all the time and playing it. If you're a bedroom player, maybe not as much so. But even bedroom players have guitars that are uncooperative and do not want to stay in their lap. I have a double neck Firefly guitar, that does that, and you kind of always have to have a strap, or if you let go, it will fall off your lap. Another thing is if they're getting into more of the nitty-gritty and they're interested about fixing guitars, things along those lines, tools. Tools are extremely helpful. A string winder / string cutter, fret polishing tools, different types of wrenches, screwdrivers, fret dressing files, fret leveling beams, crowning. You just go to, you can go to one of these and start them off with something cheaper. There is StewMac if you want to get them kind of the cream of the crop. StewMac has probably one of the best quality tools out there, if not the best. But you don't have to go that high. As I said, you can get a whole little repair kit here for like $20, $30. Leveling beams, yeah. Here's StewMac. Their basic one's $158 because it's expensive. But, some of it you're paying for the name brand too. But a neck rest support, $10. Very easy. Music Nomad, yet again, very good brand. I think this is for a drum, but I guess that you could technically use that for a guitar. So you have plenty of different options there too. Another thing guitarists always use, we'll kind of try to wrap it up here quickly, is strings. Every guitarist uses strings. That's how you play the guitar. Same with bassists. You always need strings. It's always good to have strings around. Doesn't hurt to buy them a couple packs of strings. And the last thing that I'm going to mention is picks. I find it funny because they show picks in it with good old Santa Claus here and a pack of guitar strings, yet they didn't say anything. Like guitar strings, like a lot of these accessories, there's a whole bunch of different brands, whole bunch of different qualities. If you want to go kind of more on the expensive-ish, higher-end side, you could do like Gravity guitar picks or V-picks. Fender picks are very good. Tortex picks are very good, Dunlop Tortex. But you can get wooden picks, you can get random different shapes and sizes and materials and everything everywhere in between. Ernie Ball's a good brand as well. You can't really go wrong with these. In a worst case scenario, oh no, you spent $5 on a pack of picks and they don't use it, big whoop-de-doo. So there's just some guitar accessories, some stocking stuffers that are on the cheaper side of things. Nothing overly expensive. As I said, everything was under $100. The pedals, maybe not so much, but everything else that I mentioned is well under $100, so you can definitely get your guitarist something. And as I said, in a worst case scenario, the best two things are picks and strings. So I'll leave you with that. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, leave a like, share, all that good stuff. And as always, have a good one.